Hi, this is Teddy, and today you're listening to Sima Ladjevardian in Texas on Two Broads Talking Politics. Stay safe, y'all.
Are you listening?
Hi everyone, this is Kelly with Two Broads Talking Politics, and I am on today with Sima Ladjevardian, who is running for Congress in the Texas 2nd District. Hi Sima.
Hi Kelly, it's so exciting to be on your show. Thanks for having me.
Yes, I'm really excited to talk to you. So I was just telling my kids that Texas is my absolute favorite 2020 state. I think it is just so much excitement on the ground right now. So I'm really excited to be talking to you. So let's start. Just tell me a little bit about you and your background. You'd be the first Iranian American to serve in Congress, and why you are now running for Congress.
I mean, look, my family and I left political chaos and revolution when I was a child and really came here for all the power and the promise of this incredible American dream. And, you know, as a child, I remember in my grandmother's closet, she had all these American candy and ketchup and all that. And we always talked about America, of course. And then we had to flee and come here, and really was able and was lucky to have been the recipient of that and study, make it. I've been in Houston for the past 30 years and really have been wanting to give back to this incredible community who has given me so much. I also went through cancer treatment. I was very lucky to be in Houston, a very encompassing, really accepting community. I was very lucky to have really high quality healthcare that really saved my life and let me be where I am right now. So I've always thought that I wanted to give back and help people. And I've been feeling for a while that, people are just feeling that nobody's looking out for them and they're hurting a lot. I went on, when Trump got elected, I just really felt that there's another revolution happening here. So I met Beto then, and I just put all my energy into helping his race here, ran his race here, and helped a lot of the people down the ticket, basically being able to win in this area. And when he got out of the presidential, I had been watching Crenshaw's race because he's my congressman. And one of the things that mattered so much to me is that he had campaigned on negotiating prescription drug prices down with Medicare. And he went there, got a bunch of pharma money, voted against a bipartisan bill, and then scrubbed it off of his website. So right then and there, I realized here's another DC politician, and since then, of course, he's voted 95% of the time with Trump. So I just knew that I wanted to give back to this community that has given me so much. And I had to step up when, I had so many people actually wanting me to run also. So I just think this is the way I can give back to the community. And this is one of the most important elections of our lifetimes. And as you said, it's so exciting being in Texas, where it's the battleground state. And by flipping my seat, we can help flip Texas with it also.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to that. So I want to talk some about this district. So it's a super gerrymandered, as a lot of Texas districts are. Super gerrymandered, had been blue before the gerrymandering, but has been trending progressively bluer over the past few election cycles. Dan Crenshaw didn't win by all that much. What do you see going on there right now? And what do you see as your path to victory in flipping this seat?
So this district is very gerrymandered. It is all within Harris County, which is the fastest growing county and the most diverse county. Beto just lost. So Trump won this district by 9 points, but Beto just lost this district by 1 point, which is only 3,000 votes. We've had over 60,000 new registrants since 2018, and the district is extremely diverse, 40% minority. So I really see the excitement of the youth vote, the minority vote, just in general. In my primary, we had double the number of the people that showed up in 2018. And I feel very confident that, things are going to change. Healthcare is the most important thing on everybody's mind. The fact that Crenshaw, lied about, he broke his promise about bringing down prescription drug prices, the fact that he's been trying to gut healthcare in the middle of this pandemic, the fact that he's been really putting out all kinds of lies and disinformation about COVID while, doctors have begged him to stop doing that. All of that are really big factors in this district. Texas is the least covered state in the nation as far as healthcare. In Harris County alone, 1 out of 7 kids don't have insurance. So all of that play into the importance and why people are so excited and why we can win this.
Yeah, I noticed in the primary there were more voters in the Democratic primary this year in your district than in the Republican primary. So that is certainly a good sign.
That was a great sign. And we had double the number of just even Democratic primary voters than 2018, which was incredible.
Texas, of course, likes to put up roadblocks to voting. It makes it very difficult in some ways to vote. What does voting look like in Texas this year? And what can you do to make sure that even despite the problems people might run into voting, that we can get them out, get them the information that they need?
So yes, there's obviously a lot of attempts to try to make it difficult. The positive thing is that in Harris County, because of the 2018 election, our commissioner's court with Lina Hidalgo is all Democrats. So, and with Chris Hollins, we've been very lucky to have a lot of money really allotted to making sure that voting is safe and available. So we have a lot of new places to vote, extremely safe. Our early voting is an extra week. We even have 10 locations that are drive-through voting, and one of our locations is 24 hours a day. So we really are encouraging everybody to go vote early. I know that the governor, tried to take away all the where you can drop off your vote by mail. But in Texas, people who are over 65 and have a disability can only vote by mail. So we're really encouraging them to put their votes in the mail really early, and if they can come in person, do come and vote in person. And what was incredible is that in July, which we had a runoff in Texas in this area in Texas in July, and it was the highest month of death, and it was the worst time for COVID. It was record number of people turning up to vote in a runoff, which was amazing.
Yeah, that is amazing. So I want to ask some about climate. I know that Houston has been hit really hard in recent years with hurricanes. This has been just a terrible hurricane season this year. So climate crisis is already affecting this area of Texas. But energy is such an important part of the Texas economic sector. What does that look like? How do you balance those? What sorts of effects are people seeing from the climate crisis? And what can Texas do to sort of be the leader in changing us to a new type of renewable energy?
So you're very right. We have experienced climate change. There's been 3 500-year floods, many smaller flooding. I've personally swam home several times. Our car has been totaled. And a lot of people are dealing with all the issues of even, the past few rains that were not even major hurricanes that have been happening. So it's very important that we address just the flooding issue as a big part of, obviously we have to get back into the Paris Climate Accord, but in general, we need to have more studies and be resilient and build infrastructure to be ready for our next one. And we're not there. In the overall scheme of, Houston, we are the number one, we're the energy capital of the nation. And there are a lot of jobs within that area. So we want to stay the energy capital of the nation. I think that also entails that, jobs are very important, creation of jobs. And with that, moving towards renewable energy. In my district alone, we have 15,000 jobs in renewable. About 40 million has been invested in it. So just moving towards renewable energy and making sure that natural gas is used as a transition, that whatever fracking is happening is done in a safe way, and really be all encompassing and not putting anything off the table. Again, to make sure that we have jobs available, especially in the middle of this pandemic where so many people have lost their jobs. The other thing that has been affected is this climate change really has affected the health of our children. We have like 90,000 children affected by asthma, which is also a precondition of, COVID. So again, making sure that we address that and make sure that we make our air clearer. The other thing that's important is making sure there is equity to all the communities. There's been a lot of environmental injustice, like illegal dumping in certain areas, that are poorer, that is, more African American and Hispanic areas. So making sure there is some sort of a liability and response to that kind of a thing that's happening.
Another important issue, it's been important, continues to be important, is immigration. And obviously this is something that affects Texas quite a bit. You yourself are an immigrant. Can you talk some about what you would like to see the immigration policies be, what you would like to see Congress doing to make sure that that immigration is something that is much more humane than what has been happening under the Trump administration?
So being an immigrant and coming here, America has always been the beacon of hope and has led by example, as to what humane treatment is. And sadly, under this administration, there's been a lot of inhumane treatment, from separating the children, the story that we've heard about, the really unconscionable hysterectomies that has been happening. So it's that is something that we got to be on top as soon as possible. We got to close this private, detention centers. We got to provide correct funding so that our court system just works a lot quicker than this. And of course, we have to make sure that we provide, a clear path to citizenship to our DACA recipients who have done so much. They've been here. I came here as a child, and I can't even imagine if you had to deal with, you belong here, they belong here. And just in Houston, we have 32,000 DACA recipients, and they've been building their lives, pursuing their education, contributing so much to the city, about 1.1 billion to the Houston economy. So I want to make sure there is, very fast path to citizenship, and we need, comprehensive immigration reform to make sure that we live up to the ideals of what this country is about.
So you are a mom, as I am, and I think we've talked to a lot of people on this podcast about the perspective of moms and how that is something that we're starting to get more representation in Congress of moms, but is still somewhat lacking. I wonder if you could talk about that and that perspective and how that informs the ways that you think about issues like healthcare and education.
I mean, I think one of the main reasons that I'm also running is because I am a mom, because I want a better future for my kids. I want to have opportunities for everybody's kids so they can thrive and be able to achieve their best, whether it's access to high quality, affordable education. Our public schools really need better funding. There is really big, I would say, injustice in our education system as far as brown and black kids are concerned. There is anxiety about, of course, our climate affects their future. The student debt is very big. You don't want your children being strapped by debt and having to deal with, housing and how can they afford housing. And then healthcare, of course, is a huge cost. So the fact that, there is so many issues as far as healthcare, you want to make sure that your kids have a brighter future for them. And of course, gun sense is a big deal. As a mom, I think, we've had many mass shootings in Texas. I've become very good friends with one of the moms at the Santa Fe shooting here. And I think it's so important as a mom to know that your children are safe going to school. So gun sense is really one of my top priorities too. 9 out of 10 Texans agree that we need to have universal background checks, 4 out of 5 NRA gun holders. So really addressing all these issues, because every decisions we make as moms is because we care for the future of everybody. So it's great to have much better representation in Congress, so that we understand. And I think it's just wanting a better future for everybody's kids.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So you mentioned this earlier, but voters coming out to vote for you affects not just your race, but affects things up and down the ballot in Texas, and everything in Texas is in play right now. So voters voting for you can also help MJ Hagar running for Senate. It can help Joe Biden running for president. So talk a little bit about, all the ways. I know there's a lot of, as I mentioned, a lot of energy in Texas. As we're recording right now, there's a million voter phone bank going on, led by Beto. So what does that look like in a way that that we maybe haven't seen in Texas before?
So you saw the excitement really coming in 2018 with the Senate race here, the change to see that the possibility is there. He only lost by like 200,000 votes, and I was very involved in his race. As you know, I ran his race in this area. So the momentum of knowing that it can happen started there. But now, even because of everything that has happened, everything that is at stake this time, I see the excitement in the youth. I see the excitement in all the different communities. And just, by the number of volunteers that we get for our phone banks, by the number of volunteers we get, by texting. And as you said, is, better doing the million calls in the district. Everybody understands that we are the battleground states and we can flip Texas. My specific race, I overlap with six House districts. So my race helps them. Their races helps me. We, as you said, help MJ. And then, of course, I presidential ticket. And every attention that's coming to every race helps everybody. And you can see that, you truly can feel that, and everybody understands that this is just too important of an election, and we need leaders that actually stand up for what's right, who bring us together, who, don't want to tear us apart, and really fight to really make sure that diversity and equality are the expectation and not the exception. And I know Vice President Biden keeps saying we are fighting for the soul of this nation, but I truly believe that we are fighting for the soul of this nation. And I see the excitement on the ground. In 2018, our youth turnout was 500%. But I see the same excitement going on now.
So Texas is maybe more than any other place in the country, the place where late help, money and volunteer help, even up till election day, can be really, really important. So tell listeners how they can help out with your campaign in these final 3 weeks.
Oh my God, absolutely all of the above. We need money. We're so lucky to have a great grassroots fundraising, $10, $20, however, but we do need money to stay up very competitive on our messaging, because as you know, we're not door knocking. So the messaging on TV and on mail, on social really matters. So whatever people can give, it absolutely does make a difference. And if anybody wants to volunteer, the website is simafortx.com. We're doing a lot of phone banking from all over the US, texting and just spreading and amplifying the message on social media of whatever we post on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, everywhere. All of that will help. So grateful for everything that comes. I know we can win this. I've defied the odds all of my life as a woman, as an immigrant, as a cancer survivor. I've seen when people come together, we do defy the odds, and I know that it's going to happen this time. So grateful for any help we can get.
Excellent. We'll make sure we put links up on our website as well. Is there anything else that you wanted to make sure that we talk about?
I'm just excited to see the interest, and I want to make sure that everybody really understands how important this election is, that they should grab 10 people that they know and make sure that they go out and vote. We cannot have bystanders anymore. Nobody can be silent this time. This is a time where we will define the future of this country, and nobody can be numb at this time and make sure that they need to vote. So I just have to say, as Representative John Lewis said, please get in good trouble, make calls, text, donate, and make sure everybody votes.
Yes, absolutely. Well, Sima, thank you so much for speaking with me today. I know you have a really packed schedule in these final few weeks, but it was really nice to speak with you. And Texas is the state I'm going to be watching on election night.
Absolutely. It's grateful being on you, and I hope we can do this again next time.
Thank you for listening to Two Broads Talking Politics, part of the Dimcast Podcast Network. Our theme song is called Are You Listening? Off of the album Elephant Shaped Trees by the band Immunuri, and we're using it with permission of the band. Our logo and other original artwork is by Matthew Weflin and was created for use by this podcast. You can contact us at twobroadstalkingpolitics@gmail.com or on Twitter or Facebook at Two Broads Talk. You can find all of our episodes at twobroadstalkingpolitics.com or anywhere podcasts are found.